Students, today we will see an important topic in atomic structure or structure of the atom called cathode rays. இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்க போகிறது structure of atom அப்படின்ற லெசனில் we have a topic, subtopic called cathode rays. What are cathode rays? That is what our point of interest, and we are going to see the properties of cathode rays. What are cathode rays and the corresponding properties of cathode rays. Now you have a glass tube a vacuum pump is connected to evacuate the gas inside. உள்ளுக்குள்ள இருக்கிற கேஸை கம்ப்ளீட்டாக ரிமூவ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு we connect a vacuum pump. The ends of the tube, they are connected to two electrodes. One is called as cathode, the other one is called as anode. The cathode is connected to the negative potential of the battery, and the corresponding anode is connected to a positive terminal of a battery. And this potential of the battery is of the order of 50,000 volts. It may be even more, it high voltage. Maybe in your textbook it will be given as high voltage. So now, when a tube, in a glass tube consisting of some gas is connected with two electrodes to a very high potential of the order of 50,000 volts, it may be even more, 1 lakh volt, 2 lakh volt, depending on the experiment. Now, the arrangement is you have a glass tube inside which gas is present, glass tube, this is glass tube in which gas GAS is present. It is connected to two terminals called as cathode and anode, which are in turn connected to the corresponding negative and the positive terminal of a high potential system. Now, when you slowly evacuate, when you slowly remove the gas from inside to outside using your vacuum pump, what happens is there is an appearance of a glow is seen from your cathode to anode. A glow is seen from the cathode to anode, and there is a system of particles which are coming out from cathode and reaching the anode. This stream of particles which travel from cathode to anode, the stream of particles which travel from cathode to anode, they are called as cathode rays. The stream of particles which travel from cathode to anode inside the tube, they are called as cathode rays. And it has been proved that cathode rays are nothing but electrons, because when I say cathode, it is connected to a very high negative potential. So maybe we can say that this very high negative potential is repelling the electrons of the atoms present on the surface of this metal electrode. This cathode, obviously it should be a metal plate, and this metal plate consists of lot of atoms, and these atoms, they have excess of valence electrons in their outermost shell, and these valence electrons may be repelled by this very high negative potential, and hence they come out of the cathode. When these electrons, they come out of the cathode, obviously electrons are negatively charged particle and anode is positively charged system, and therefore the positive potential of the anode tries to attract the negative charged particles, that is called electrons, and hence the stream of electrons, they travel from cathode to anode. So in this arrangement, when you evacuate, if you have inside a very high pressure, the pressure of the gas will be an obstructing parameter, it will resist the liberation of electrons. The electrons, suppose I have an atom, this electron is having a force of attraction to the nucleus, and we have to overcome this force of attraction of the nucleus so that the electrons is ejected out. When the electron is ejected out, the pressure inside the system should be very low so that the electron can travel freely outside. If the pressure of the gas is very high, then the resistance of the electron towards moving outside will be more, and hence the gases will not allow the electron to come out of the atom. Therefore, we conduct this experiment at very low pressure. Two conditions are: number one, very high potential applied between the two electrodes, and the corresponding pressure inside the system should be very, very low, of the order of 0.1 millimeter of mercury, 0.01 millimeter of mercury. It cannot be 100 or 200 or 10 millimeter of mercury. It should be of the order of 1 millimeter of mercury or 0.1 millimeter of mercury, of that level. So if the pressure is too low inside, then this high potential, it ejects out the electron from the cathode, and there is a stream of particle traveling from cathode to anode. Such a stream of particle traveling from cathode to anode, they are called as cathode rays. Now this is the origin of cathode rays. Now we shall see the list of characteristic features or the properties of cathode rays. Now to know the properties of cathode rays, we have a list of features. To remember those things, I will give a sentence, so that in the sentence the key letters which are expressed in terms of capital letter may insist or may depict upon the corresponding properties of cathode rays. Children, you can even write this sentence, you can draw this diagram, you can even write this sentence and make a note of what does each letter, each capital letter in the sentence denote for. Now, Mr. X. So X is a capital letter. Mr. X operated, everything is small. Dev, DEV is capital. Hip, it is capital. At, this small letter. S, M, F. Of course, S, M, F stands for, there are three properties of this cathode rays. Now here I say, you know Mr. X is an unknown person. DEV, Dev, of course, you know, now IPL is going on, you can see your Kapil Dev in the TV, and Dev, hip, of course, his hip gets operated at Sundaram Medical Foundation. It's an hospital present in Chennai. Now, in this, your all capital letters depict each one property of cathode rays. Now we have 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 1, 10 properties. These 10 properties, of course, as a tutor, I can easily explain all the 10 properties. As a children, as a student, it is not possible to remember all the 10 properties and write in the examination. It may be somewhat difficult. So therefore, we find a useful method to remember all the 10 properties, and just like that you can reproduce in the examination. Now we will see one by one properties. Mr. X. What does this X stands for? X stands for X-rays. X stands for X-rays. When fast moving electron, they are suddenly stopped by a solid target. When fast moving electron, they are suddenly stopped by a solid target, then your invisible rays called as X-rays are emitted. The X-rays were found by scientists called Roentgen. Of course, we will study those things in the later on part of the topic. Now we are interested in only the features of this cathode rays. X stands for X-rays. What are X-rays? When a fast moving electron is suddenly stopped by a solid target, X-rays are emitted. So therefore, first property over. X stands for X-rays. When fast moving electrons are suddenly stopped by a solid target, X-rays are emitted. Next, D. What does this D stands for? Your cathode rays, they are deflected by both electric and magnetic field. They are deflected by electric field as well as magnetic field because they contain charge. When they have charge, if they come near to negative plate, it gets repelled. If they go near to positive plate, they get attracted. Similarly, when a charge is moving in a magnetic field, it will experience a force, and that force you will study in your 12th standard physics called magnetic Lorentz force. I will just explain the corresponding concepts also. This is a charge Q which is placed in a magnetic field B, and the charge is moving with a velocity V at an angle theta with respect to the magnetic field. A charge q is moving the velocity v at an angle theta with respect to the magnetic field. Then the magnetic field will exert a force on this charge, or the force experienced by this charge by the magnetic field is given by the force due to magnetic field will be equal to B q v sin theta. So this is a formula for your magnetic Lorentz force, or it is a formula for the force experienced by a charge moving in a magnetic field with a velocity v at an angle theta with respect to the magnetic field. The force is Fm is equal to magnetic field force, magnetic Lorentz force is equal to BQV into sin theta. Children, this proof is of great importance, but which is not in your chemistry. It is a part of 12th standard physics. Please do understand this formula, and here our interest is whenever a charged particle moves in a magnetic field, it gets deflected because of the force. Similarly, electron is also a charged particle, it has a negative charge, and therefore when they move in a magnetic field they get deflected. So D for they get deflected by electric and magnetic field. And of course, I hope you would have understood the second point, D. E stands for cathode rays are nothing but electrons. Cathode rays are nothing but negatively charged electrons. Of course, you can rearrange the order and write your E as the first point. Cathode rays are nothing but electrons which are negatively charged particles. So next point, E is over V. V stands for they travel with almost 1/10 of your velocity of light. Cathode rays, they travel nearly 1/10 of the velocity of light. Velocity of light is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. When I say 1/10, it is 3 into 10 power 7 meter per second, and that is the velocity of your cathode ray. Again, X stands for X-ray. D for they get deflected by electric and magnetic field. E, they are nothing but electrons which are negatively charged particles. V, they travel with 1/10 of the velocity of light. Now what does this H stands for? When they hit some target, when they hit a target, when they meet upon a solid target, they produce heat. So production of heat, H stands for heat. When cathode rays impinge on any solid material, they produce heat. The production of heat is given by the letter H. Now what does this I stands for? I stands for they ionize. They ionize the gas through which they pass. They ionize the gas through which they pass. When I say ionize the gas through which they pass, it means the cathode rays, when they come out of the cathode, these electrons, if at all there are some atoms in the gas molecule inside the tube, when these electrons they come and collide with the atom, they may bombard the electron of that particular gaseous atom, and that electron can even come out, and therefore the gas may become ionized, because whenever an atom loses its electron, it becomes a cation. So cathode rays can ionize the gas through which they pass. When these electrons they come and meet the gas atom, the atoms containing electrons, the incoming cathode ray electrons will bombard the electrons of the atom, and during this bombardment the electrons of the atom may be thrown out of the gas or out of the atom, and therefore the gas may get ionized, and that is known as your ionization of the gas through which they pass. Now what is this P stands for? P, they affect photographic plate. They affect photographic plate. They affect AFFECT. They affect photographic plate. What do you mean by affect photographic plate? Photographic plate is nothing but it's a plate coated with some chemicals. Let us not worry about the composition of the chemicals. When these electrons they come and fall on the chemical, there is a chemical reaction taking place, and that chemical reaction may change. It will change the property of the plate, and therefore we say it affects the photographic plate. Children, don't worry about the chemistry of what is happening inside the photographic plate. There are a lot of chemicals which are coated in the photographic plate, and you will study during your course of organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. You will study all those reactions in detail. Therefore, they affect the photographic plate. That is, P is over. Again, I will recollect, they produce heat when they fall on solid target. They ionize the gas through which they pass. They affect photographic plate. S stands for. What does this S stands for? They travel in straight line. They travel in straight lines. When they come out of the cathode, they exactly travel in the straight line path unless and until you have an external field. If you have electric field and magnetic field which may bend the cathode rays. Unless and until the presence of external electric or magnetic field does not exist, cathode rays, they travel in straight line. So S stands for straight line. M stands for they have momentum and kinetic energy. I said when they fall on the solid target, they produce heat. That heat is because of the change of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is converted to heat. Therefore, they possess momentum. Momentum is nothing but mass into velocity, and kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is nothing but half m v square, and therefore if we have momentum, obviously velocity is there, and therefore kinetic energy should be there. So this M stands for they possess momentum and kinetic energy. Now last but not the least, they produce fluorescence. Cathode rays, they produce fluorescence. What do you mean by fluorescence? Children, you will study fluorescence later on also. Now I will just simply explain the concept of fluorescence. Whenever electron, they bombard a substance, a sheet coated with fluorescent materials. What are the fluorescent materials? Zinc sulfide, cadmium sulfide, aluminum stearate. We can give n number of compounds like this. So whenever a sheet is coated with fluorescent materials, when electron comes bombards on this material, there is a spot observed at the point of contact. That spot we call as scintillation. The effect is called as scintillation. That scintillation is because of the property called fluorescence. Therefore, what is exactly fluorescence is, whenever a high energy system comes in contact with the matter, the high energy gets converted to visible energy. So you can see on the roadside, maybe in the highways, you can see all name boards, all direction boards, speed breaker is there. This is a U-turn, please turn slowly. All these name boards will be in terms of fluorescent colors. What does this imply? Whenever light from a car or from a vehicle travels and hits the fluorescent board, it gets reflected, and the reflected light is absolutely visible for the naked eye. Fluorescence is a process by which a surface is there, a high energy radiation like ultraviolet or any other high energy radiation falls on the surface. When high energy falls on the surface and gets emitted in the visible region, when high energy falls on the surface and gets emitted in the visible region, then it is called as, the effect is called as fluorescence. The conversion of high energy system or high energy to a visible region energy is called fluorescence. Cathode rays, they also produce fluorescence. Of course, we have completed all the properties of cathode rays. Now, in a nutshell, I will just recollect all the properties. X for X-rays, D for deflection, E for electron, V for velocity, H for heat, I for ionization, P for photographic plate, S for they travel in straight line, M they do have momentum and kinetic energy, F they do produce fluorescence. Cathode rays are nothing but stream of particles traveling from cathode to anode when a high potential is applied inside the system having very low pressure, and the corresponding characteristic features of cathode rays are given here.